Good day, mates. This is Brian Bray from Missouri River Regional Library here in Jefferson City, Missouri. It's a bright, sunny day, and today I thought we'd talk about Facebook facts. Pretty much almost everybody is on Facebook, so I thought that'd be a fun topic to, talk about in this time of COVID-19. Give us something fun to talk about. All right. Facebook facts. Okay, who can tell me who was the first person to ever have their picture on Facebook? Give you a second to think about it. And the answer is hoo-wah, Al Pacino. And actually, it was a picture of his younger days when he was the Godfather. But I used an older picture. I like this picture. Hoo-wah, from Sin of a Woman. Al Pacino, first person to have his picture on Facebook. I thought it would be me. No, not me. Another question for you. Who is the most, or what is, who, what, when is the most popular person on Facebook? And for this one, I'll give you a hint. You have to think worldwide, not just here in America. All right? Cristiano, soccer player. Football is the most, or soccer is the most popular sport in the world. So it's no surprise when you combine the whole world together, this is the most popular person. At one time, it used to be Justin Bieber, and that did not make me feel good. But a lot of people used to like Justin Bieber at one time, and he was the most famous, popular person on Facebook, but not anymore. How many people have seen the movie Social Network? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looks like a lot of you have. Well, as you know, Mark Zuckerberg, when he was at Harvard, developed this program called Hot or Not. And that would take the women from the other Ivy League schools, and then the guys will either hit a button that says they're hot or they're not. Yeah. And then a fraternity asked him to make this website for him, which is what Facebook should have been. But Mark and his collaborators thought this would be a really cool thing that we can make money off of, and he gave the fraternity a watered down version of Facebook. He didn't really give them, well, they thought they were getting something pretty good until they saw what he did with Facebook. He got sued, he lost, but he still has Facebook and is very popular and very rich. So go watch the movie Social Network. That was it's pretty accurate in how it is and how it began. Unfriending and other facts. People have actually been murdered over unfriending someone. Now, that shouldn't alarm people. It should just kind of tell you that you should be more careful how you choose your friends. Obviously, it doesn't happen very often, but it's happened enough to make the other facts on my list. Some people just don't handle rejection well. If someone unfriends me, I'm like, okay, we still may be friends, but maybe my content isn't what they want. Who knows? You can change the language. It doesn't have to be English. It can be Spanish. It can be French. It can even be pirate. Arr. Okay, that was weak, I know. There are 30 million dead people on Facebook. 30 million counting. Both of my parents are deceased. Both of my parents had Facebook pages, accounts, and they're still on there. So sometimes I go there and just, makes me feel better to put something on their Facebook page. I heard you can also put a memorial page for somebody who's deceased, but Facebook will not take it down. No surprise, since 2009, China has blocked Facebook. That being said, many people in China have Facebook accounts and are on Facebook. There are ways to get around things if you know what you're doing. Here's a strange fact. This vlogger wasn't getting his work done. So he hired this woman to slap him every time he got on Facebook. Every time he got on Facebook, he was spending all of his time there, and he wasn't doing his job, blogging. So she would come over and slap him. I wonder how much that pays. There are over 600,000 hacking attempts a day. You've probably received a friend request from somebody you're already friends with. Or somebody will tell you, if you get this on your Facebook page, don't respond to it. I've been hacked. It happens quite often, so don't get too alarmed unless you put something really, really personal on there. Don't overreact to it. Facebook tracks everything you do. I have Facebook on my phone. When I log out of Facebook, it still tracks where I go. So it's no surprise that when I go to Facebook, there are advertisements. Oh, this Amazon book that you wanted starts popping up. So be careful where you shop because it may pop up on Facebook. Now, Google tracks you as well. So there you go. And they're not the only two. A lot of them do. I'm not convinced it's a good thing, but a lot of them do it. Okay, statistics. Obviously, Facebook is the most popular social media site in the world. It used to be Twitter, but for a long time it's been Facebook. And I do love Twitter as well. 83 or more percent of grandparents and parents on Facebook. It's a good way to connect with family. It's also a good way to see what your kids are doing. However, teenagers don't like their parents on Facebook, so they've been moving over to Tumblr. And they've also developed their own code. Teenagers developed their own code so the parents wouldn't know what they were talking about on Facebook. It says 1.5 million active users. That probably should be billion, not million. Most people use their smartphones to access Facebook. And most people do it like 8 times a day or more. The best time to post if you want people to see it is 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. 7 a.m. people are getting ready for work, eating breakfast, and looking at Facebook. 7 p.m. people are winding down. Supper time maybe. Or just after supper. They're looking at Facebook. And for some reason, Thursdays are a big day for people to look at Facebook. Go figure. America is not the #1 country for Facebook. Again, go figure. It's Asia. Let me repeat that. Asia and Europe are ahead of America, United States, and Canada in the most people looking at Facebook. Now, Asia has more people, but remember, countries block them. Somehow it just, I guess living in the United States, you just would think it'd be United States, but it's not. So it's pretty popular worldwide. The most used age group that use Facebook is your millennials, or they're saying 25 to 34. That's in the millennial age group, but not definite. A lot of people thought it would be teenagers. Nope. It's 25 to 34. Like I said, a lot of teenagers are moving over to Tumblr. 4 million likes every minute. Think about that. Every minute, there are 4 million likes. They tried to put a dislike button on there, but Facebook said that was too negative. So I guess if you want to be negative, you have to go to the comments section and be negative. 350 billion and counting photos are uploaded on Facebook. And they're still there somewhere. You want more stats? I can do that for you. I can give you more stats. Here you go. 1.66 billion people log on to Facebook daily and are considered active users. Now, some of these stats I get from marketing firms. So it depends on the marketing firm, kind of what the stat is. 5 new profiles last year. In December, they found out 5 new profiles are created every second. Mind-boggling, or at least my tiny mind finds it mind-boggling. Now, you take all the women in the world. Women use Facebook more than men. Not by much, but they do. So what you do is you take all the women in the world, and 76% of all women are on Facebook. 66% of all men are on Facebook. And remember, there are countries out there that don't really have technology. Again, boggling, mind-boggling. Now, this one marketing firm said the highest traffic midweek is between 1 to 3 p.m. I guess people are tired of working. They just had lunch, they're tired of working. So they're looking at Facebook. But most people spend the most time between their most time at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And on Thursdays and Fridays, engagement is 18% higher. So people are on it more on Thursdays and Fridays. And during the COVID-19 usage is up by a gazillion. Now, I made that number up, but I wouldn't be surprised. The most liked photo on Facebook is Barack and Michelle Obama hugging. And that really is kind of a sweet picture. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Have you ever played that game? Where they say every celebrity is within 6 people of Kevin Bacon. Well, Facebook claims there is a 4-degree difference of separation from each user, which I find hard to believe, but they say they can prove it, and I say prove it. I thought I'd add on here the proper post or proper way to do a post. They tell you don't make it boring. Okay, I disagree with that. It's your Facebook account. As long as it's not illegal, make it boring. And what's boring to me may not be boring to you. I've had people who said, Brian, too many pictures of your grandkids or your children on there. Well, it's easy enough. If you don't like something, you just keep on scrolling. You don't have to sit there and look at it. If you don't like something, keep on scrolling. Think before you post. If you think something may cause a lot of turmoil or people may argue about it, think if you want all those comments in your comment section. If you want people discussing or even fighting over what you said or posted as a picture, think about it. A gentleman used to be a police officer in Dallas. He held up his gun. I can't remember exactly, but it's either to a cat or dog's head, and somebody took a picture of it, put it on Facebook. He wasn't going to shoot the animal. He just thought it was funny. Well, the police department didn't think it was funny, and he got fired from his job. Just think about what you post, especially if you're going to go job hunting. There are ways to get on Facebook, and if you have some embarrassing pictures, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but a employer may use that against you. So think about what you post. Make it short. A lot of people don't like to read long things. Social media, it's not just short attention span, but people want to get on there, see what's there, and get off. They don't want to spend a lot of time reading. And if you can, add pictures. People love pictures. And if people are like really short on time, they're going to scroll through and they're probably going to stop where they see pictures, not just text. When you post when you post something, or if you're reposting something, consider the source. Is it a real source or not? I've been seeing a lot of things being posted and they'll say from some newspaper or whatever. And that newspaper is famous for not telling the truth. You may not want to repost that. So you don't want to spread misleading information. And it happens all the time. There are satire sites like The Onion, which make up stories. And there's a lot of satire sites that just make up stories that people think are true. That's why you need to look into it to see if it's really true or not. You can facts.org or snopes.com will look into things to see if things are true or not. But like The Onion, their stories are so outrageous. You're pretty sure it's not true. So look into it and don't post it, repost it, and go around, telling people this is fact if you don't know it's really a fact. That being said, you should keep it casual. You should not attack people. You should not attack your neighbors, your family, people you work with, people in your town. You should not go around attacking people. Excuse me. That's not what Facebook's about. Keep it casual. Use the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a good rule to go by. Keep your personal information to a minimum. Don't hand out your address, phone number. It's iffy on the email address. A lot of people take pictures, and in the picture you can see their license plate number. Not a good idea. Or their address on their home. Not a good idea. I also have pictures of my grandkids, but I never use their names. Don't tell people where you are, like, hey, I'm in the Bahamas on vacation. Great, I'm going to see if I can figure out where you live and rob you. That's how people think. Be careful how you post. Sometimes it depends. With pictures, you want to make sure you have permission to post pictures. Somebody took a picture, don't repost it without asking them if you can repost it. It's pretty general rule that on memes, because I create memes all the time, it's a pretty general rule that you can repost those. But if you feel better, you can ask the person if I can repost this. So there is a few fun facts about Facebook and how to do a proper post. My name's Brian Bray, and there's a picture of me and my inserted cat. My address is brayb@mrrl.org if you have questions on anything tech related, anything. If you need to get a hold of me. And that's all I have for you today. We'll have a blogging part 3 coming up soon. And I hope everybody stays safe, social distancing, wash our hands 490 times a day. That would be helpful. I'm not kidding. We have to take this COVID-19 seriously. So be well, be happy, and do